It's the UPX Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, Thank Me Later, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming obsession as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then locking iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your UPX, man. On your way in the door, hit you with $4,000. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping. Over to moving and shucking. I'm Scrooge McDuckin in UPX.
What's going on, fellow Uplanders, and welcome to another episode of the UPX Podcast. I am your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, I'm joined by ThankMeLater. How are we doing this wonderful February evening?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream. Do you have a good Valentine's Day?
Oh, yeah. I told you, I don't have to do anything for Valentine's Day. I've convinced my wife that it's just a made-up holiday. And
Dude, you said that. I call bull. I call bull. Dude, you telling me you didn't bring flowers? One chocolate didn't enter the house? Nothing?
Now, the kids got chocolate. They got the heart-shaped chocolate things and all that. But me to my wife, nothing. Her to me, nothing.
What? I don't know that I'm be bragging about that. Dude, my girl got chocolates, roses. I did the bubble bath with the little roses on top with the candles. Like, it was legit. She still hates me, though, but whatever. It's like, I never know.
I mean, I remind her that this was my stance when we met and that I asked her to marry me and she said yes. She didn't ask me to marry her. So
I gotta remember that. Be like, you knew what you were getting into.
Now I do stuff for her other than like, I just make it a point on Valentine's Day not to do it. Same with Sweetest Day. Those are the two that I'm just like, eh.
Oh yeah. No, my girl's from Canada, so I just ain't gonna tell her about Sweetest Day. That's how we're gonna do that.
That's like a made-up Midwest holiday or something in October.
Oh yeah, so. No, that is some Ohio shenanigans.
Absolutely. I was like, what is this? Anyway, enough on that. I mean, last week was the weather. This day it's Valentine's Day and all that. But it sounds like you treated your lady nice on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, you know that's how we do. Oh man, big old what the steak tomahawk. Man, I got a big old tomahawk steak, grilled that up. Ooh, dang. It was good. That was for me, though.
Yeah. Hey, that works. It's nice.
Got to treat yourself.
Nice, it's nice. Yeah. This is episode 121, and it's being recorded on February 17th, 2022. Moving pretty quickly through the year. Before we get too far into it, I'll also get the disclaimer out of the way. The views, information, and opinions expressed on the UPX Podcast are solely those of myself, ThankMeLater, TDavis, and BDag, and any guests of the podcast, and do not necessarily represent or reflect those of Upland Me, Inc. We're not employed by or provided insider information from the Upland team, nor are we financial advisors. All discussions about properties to buy and sell are not financial advice. Please do your own research first.
Agreed.
So, we have.
Well, also, before we get too into it, I just noticed. Are you wearing a Cool Cat sweater?
Absolutely.
Is that like legit from Top Shots?
Yeah. So they sent out they got a cap and they got a Cool Cat sweatshirt. So
Upland, take note. What are you guys doing, man?
Right?
Right? Come on now. I don't know why all executives do not have sweaters, some sort of swag. We need to get on that. Come on now.
I like that. Well, yeah. Like all OG executives.
Right? Come on. I think if you got all the San Francisco collections, you should get something. That's all I'm saying. Oh,
wait. Holding all the San Francisco collections.
Oh, get out of here. That.
Yeah. So
executive monocles. Dr. Nobody says executive monocles. I'm about that. Yes, let's do that.
They along with the infinite objects that they sent out earlier, this was one of the other things that they sent out to the people that got the 30 of 30 Cool Cats. So that's pretty cool.
That's super cool. Honestly. I mean, they made enough money off of it. They should be giving you guys something.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's funny now. Some of the moments you spent hundreds of dollars on, and now they're like $40.
Right. But hey, you got the sweaters, so
yeah, I got my infinite object, and I got a sweater and a cap.
Infinite object's legit though. Like that's super cool.
So I'll take this. We'll see what it goes.
Hey, but if you spend 22 million UPX, you could get a a ball from the Super Bowl. So.
No, not the Super Bowl, the big game.
Oh, sorry, the big game.
Yeah, we'll get into that here coming up.
Okay, so I'm jumping the shark.
Jumping the gun.
Jumping the gun. All right.
Absolutely. So we do have a lot to cover. A lot went on in Upland this week, and then we will do another will you accept that trade offer this week. We got a couple of those lined up. First two are pretty nice. The last one I was rushed. I just got, it's kind of chaotic here after work with the kids and their activities and dinner and all that stuff. So, but we got three of them to go through. A lot of stuff to cover in general. So we'll just jump right into it. First thing we get to share is we do have some leaderboard numbers.
Leaderboards. What do we do? Oh man, numbers.
Oh, wait, I can't do that way though. I know it's dumb. Still learning the. Well, if I cover this screen, I can't get to the share screen, and yeah,
gotcha.
I need three screens.
Dizzy is talking about the GD Eli Apple. Dude, don't hate on Eli Apple. Why is everybody hating on Eli Apple, man? Give him a break.
Yeah. So as you can see, Abdullah added about another 200,000, 240,000.
Like what he added is more than Dizzy's entire net worth. like I'm going to put that into perspective. Dizzy, who is an absolute OG baller, hard as anything, like we consider him a big dog. Abdullah put that in this week. Like Dizzy's been building this collection for 2 years, and Abdullah's like, make it rain.
Well, in 2 weeks, in the last 2 weeks, he's put in 200,000, and there is speculation that he's pretty high up in the Saudi Arabia family, crown prince type minister of stuff over there, but that's unconfirmed.
Hey, you know what though? I love it because it's great to have a story of someone like that who's putting that kind of money, even if it's essentially play money to them. I actually saw it trickle down. There was several people on Facebook who are selling for fiat out now, and like they were bragging because they're like, holy crap, this Abdullah guy, this billionaire in Upland is buying my stuff, which A, makes them feel really good, and B, is helping the economy because he does buy a lot of things secondhand. I know he just won the landmark auction today as well, the reverse auction that happened. But I mean, he buys a lot of things secondhand. And if you're that rich, you got rich friends. So I really hope what he's doing is he's like, I'm going to establish myself. I'm going to keep it to myself. This is my thing. And then I'm going to once I feel good, I'm going to let it out. And I hope he brings all his friends, and I hope they all come and play.
What up, Poseidon, joining us on Twitch today?
Poison. Wait, don't we know Poison?
Yeah.
Her name sounds familiar.
We know Poison.
Oh, it's Poison.
Absolutely.
What up, Poison? Coming in the Twitch channel. I like it.
Yeah. TDavis hooked us up and got us programmed on the bot, so it hits the NFT gamer server that we're streaming on Twitch. So good to have friends like that.
Cool. Shout out to TDavis. Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah. Yep. Hey,
Public Square property for USD. How much? How much was that for?
It was the casino. So I wanted the casino. I tried minting it. I think I had Dizzy helping me out trying to secure that, or maybe it was Troyna. I had people deployed all over Cleveland trying to get properties and struck out on that. So
that did not work out well for you.
No, that was a failure. But as you can see, this week we do have one new chief executive, Lang 11. Congratulations. Welcome to the Chief Executive Club.
Interesting. Can we scroll down to them? Where were they last week or 2 weeks ago? How? Because they must have moved up.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll get there. We'll scroll down.
Okay. All right.
But yeah,
Lang 11. Get it.
And I like it. Executives, there's 487 executives. Get us some cool Upland sweatshirts and infinite objects of just flashing all the collections or something cool. I don't know.
480 executives, which is what? That's a million? What's the take? I don't know why I'm spacing on that. Is it 10 million?
That's the 10 million.
10 million. Okay.
Yep.
And
so
then
10 million. Chiefs 100,000.
100,000. Dang.
Directors
And
1,000.
then whatever Abdullah, Sultan, whatever we're putting for when you get a billion UPX, like they should just send him an actual llama. Like that's what, like if you get a billion UPX, they just send you a llama for the week. Like here you go, you just get a pet llama for now. Up 12 spots, so he dropped in some money.
Yeah. Oh, Abdullah bought that public square property for $3K.
$3K, get it, Poison.
That was
so
like a
that's what I'm
500.
saying. Like it's great. It's great for a game like this to have a player like that. I mean, because also it just like I don't know. It's aspirational, and honestly, it removes the pressure from trying to get to number one because you ain't ever getting to number one now. You don't even have to worry about that. Just have fun, man. Just try and do your best because you ain't gonna get to number one because that dude's super rich. So you can just have fun. Because back in the day, it was like, damn, do I put in another $1,000 to try and get to number one? Like we were all edging each other out. Like now it's just like, oh, cool. Like let's just try and stay in the top 100 before all of these rich people come in and just wipe us out. And I'd be completely happy with that, by the way.
Yeah. So Lang moved up 12 spots to number 14.
Nice.
Yeah.
240. So for convert $240 to $3,000. Yeah, that's a good.
Yes.
Maybe 400, something like that. Yeah. That's good. Here we go. There's some movers. Wait. Did I go up? No. Wow. There's a new guy, 38.
Yeah.
Wait, go back up. You scrolled right over me.
Who cares about you?
I do, obviously. As the highest ranking member in. Oh, I went down too. Never mind. Keep going. Why are you looking at this? No one cares about these numbers.
Oh, I see.
That's
another new one, number 49, Nicolaita.
What? That's an intro. Dang, look at all these like movers and shakers coming in. Maddox is a familiar name.
Yeah.
David Walker.
David Walker's been, I think he has a YouTube channel himself and he goes over, he follows us on Twitter. So thank you, David Walker.
Oh, yeah, cool. Shout out to David Walker then. Key holder. Man, there's some movers and shakers. Username 2BD. Dude, legend.
There you go.
That's a great one. Username TBD.
And a couple more.
Oh, Loki's an OG. Loki's been around for a while. Kaiser 12's an OG as well. So glad to see they're coming up. And then Riri. How do you say that? Number 93. Ray?
Oh, number 93. Ray.
All right. Well, now that we've alienated everybody else,
I'm getting close to dropping out of the top 100. So anyway, to make.
Oh my gosh, 95, bro. What are you doing with your life? You need to be selling all that BS Top Shots and getting back into Upland before you
buying Top Shots, some DGDs, some NFL all day. Trying to save for my kids' college. I don't know. I got 4 of them.
Kids aren't going to college at this rate. What are you talking about? You definitely done blew that on the metaverse.
Oh yeah.
Our boy Nishrin's about to drop out of the top 100. I don't think he cares.
Oh, I don't think he cares. No real big changes to the top 10.
No, not even really big moves. TM crushing it at 14,000. Maniac, Dizzy hanging in there with 12.
Yeah, 5 new people that have over 1,000 properties. So,
dang, that's super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I forgot to do. Oh, great.
What did you forget to do?
Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out as when you go on one of your rants, I'll be able to catch up and get it.
Me, I don't ever go on rants.
Right.
Oh, I went to the doctor this week, and she'd been trying to get me on Adderall. She's like, you got ADD. I'm like, no, I don't. She made me take this quiz. And like to qualify for ADHD, you have to score like a 35 or 45 on this thing. I was like 78. She was just like, how do you manage your life? And I'm like, I don't. Like, what are you talking about? My life is a fucking mess. Like, that's the trick. You just keep moving, right?
Yeah.
That's normal, right?
Yeah. So you were way off spectrum and you just blew it out of the water. So you crushed it, basically.
I was like, is this a high score? Like,
I get my name on the leaderboard, right?
Right
at the top.
Top of the leaderboard.
I don't think you want to be there, though.
No. I mean, I love this map. I like whoever's providing this map. Shout out to Steve. Steve, I like that. Yeah, shout out to Steve.
Yeah,
SRGA 66.
There you go.
I like this. Yeah.
So this is Los Angeles as a whole, including FSA and non-FSA. And then we got a week-to-week comparison. So you can see that things are starting to heat up in Los Angeles. You're seeing more neighborhoods there on the southeast side starting to work their way towards the 100% sold out.
What's really interesting is there's got to be an anomaly, right? Because there's a couple, and I don't know how to describe it. So in the middle, where I'm assuming whatever the big middle, what is that? Beverly Hills is in the middle.
Yeah.
So there's like a really bright green, which is super small. Is there just no properties there? Like, I can't imagine there being a small neighborhood in LA that isn't being aggressively bought out for some reason. Like, there has to be like either like no properties there or something, right?
I haven't looked at that neighborhood.
Because like, why wouldn't somebody just make a node? I'm going to go investigate. We'll continue on. I'll look into it. I'm curious because I think like if it's really not that sold out, is it just super costly? Like, what's going on there? Which is why I like this map a lot. This is a great way too. If you're looking at a map like this and you see some of these light greens, which means that there's hardly anything minted out in it, like, and you're thinking about starting an LA node, that's where I would start. Because all the black ones are almost certainly either nodes or active collections. I think that would be a very likely and fair statement. So curious. Let's see here. The place that's in question that is light green is called Beverly Wood. And no, it's okay. So this is fascinating. Beverly Wood, it looks like it's just a tiny little neighborhood. An 82 up square property goes for about 55,000 UPX. So fairly pricey for reasonable size. But again, if you were looking, I mean, there is entire blocks here, lots of corner lots. These are all fairly well-sized properties in organized neighborhoods. So interesting.
Sounds like a good spot for a node.
It would be a very pricey node, but certainly an opportunity if somebody was looking. Beverly Wood, there's a nice little Circle Park in the middle of it. Now, all the properties touching Circle Park have been sold out by Beverly 1818. Do they own all of these? No, it's a variety. So very interesting to see that working out. Beverly's Drive is there. Bolton Road, Dexter. Yeah. So if you're looking for a potential node in the heart of Hollywood and you're not scared of a little bit high prices, Beverly Wood looks like a good place to mint. And then the other one, Rancho Park. Yeah, maybe not. But I like Beverly Wood. That's pretty good.
So that gives you that. Now this is the non-FSA.
Oh, dang.
So heats up a little more.
Yeah, that's a spicy meat. Now, the trick is, so if you compare the two, which neighborhoods are sold out beyond with only FSA available? Because those are the places, if you are an FSA buyer, 100% that's where I would be looking. And if I was advising a new player, I would go, let me compare these two maps. Let me find a neighborhood that is sold out of non-FSA that still has FSA available, because you will almost certainly be able to get a markup, because there is a reason it's sold out. Either it's a node or part of a collection or just a popular area. So definitely something to look out for.
And there's this is on the Upland map server. If you want access to it, send me a DM on Discord and I'll get you the invite. I'm just not going to put it out there and in the links to anything, just because that just opens it up to a bunch of spam. So
yeah,
if you want to look at these maps and do right there what ThankMeLater said and make that comparison for the FSAs, and that's a great strategy and a great technique to do, is sit there and look at the two maps and compare, and great targets for quick flips.
Do a quick toggle for them. So that way, if they're watching the video, you can go, okay, here's your full. So anything that's not black here, but black, next slide, here is what you want to look for. Okay, there you go.
There you go.
See, now you could do, I think they got the little things in the YouTubers where you can like make a little like pinpoint in the videos and the whatnots. Is that a thing? Somebody can timestamp it. We're 21 seconds in, 21 minutes in.
Yeah, 21, so on and so forth. We'll
anyway,
work on that. Moving on to the floors.
I love these. This is such interesting to me.
So Manhattan moved up about 5.2% from last week, and it actually that's the interesting thing. It went up in UPX and it dropped by 28.5% on the US dollar.
Now, I'm a numbers guy, so I get leery. Like, is this just one guy selling one property for 100? Like, I think you know what we should probably do is like do an average of the cheapest 10. Just as a suggestion moving forward, because I'm a little bit leery of that, because if somebody like the day of the show like knows we're pulling the numbers, they put one like low ball in there to like make the numbers look different, right? Like,
that's true.
Somebody gets desperate, like, hey man, I need $100. Like, who hasn't been there on the corner? You know, like I need $100. What are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah. Rutherford went up 6.7%, stayed the same from the US dollar rate. San Francisco's dropping like a rock. Now that's interesting, is, we've talked about the difference between the numbers of properties in Manhattan and the numbers of properties in San Francisco. And it's about a 3-to-1. So San Francisco has three more properties in Manhattan, that way. So you would expect either Manhattan to be a little lower or San Francisco's floor to be a little higher. My interpretation is San Francisco's on sale as a Genesis city. So go buy. But this is not financial advice.
Yeah, not financial advice. But if I'm looking at here, I'm feeling an opportunity in San Francisco. Like, because here, you know what? Here's the truth of the matter. We are going to get cars this year. Like, that's just going to happen. That's not news to really anybody. Like, do you have anything? I don't want to like jump the gun here. Do you have anything about asterisks, rumors?
Yes, that's coming up.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm leading to then. Okay.
We're on the same page.
Okay, yeah. So like, if that's coming out, then cars are coming out. And if cars are coming out, you know where they're coming to? San Francisco.
Upland.
Like San Francisco. If they're coming to Upland, they're coming to San Francisco. Like, that's where they're going to be. That's where the tracks are going to start. That's where property development, that's where the businesses started. That's where cars are going to start. Like, so as soon as that happens, believe people are going to want some real estate in San Francisco. That's all I'm saying. Not financial advice. Do with it what you will. I'm probably personally going to go pick up some San Francisco properties, though, especially at a floor of 29. That seems pretty good, depending on what they're trying to sell. And if you have the fiat, $19 for a Genesis City property feels pretty good right now.
And right now, me personally, I don't care. It could be a 12 up square property. I'm going to pick it up for 30,000 UPX. I don't care.
Right? Come on now.
Yeah. Santa Clara, coming in at number 4, down just a little, 22,500. And that's what we got to remember, is being a little more descriptive too, because we do have our podcast listeners, just not our live stream stuff.
Which is so bad. Feels so bad for our podcast. We are like, man, if you're watching the podcast, you got to, just keep watching the podcast. What do I do? You don't need to switch over to YouTube. Like, if you're a podcast listener, you're a podcast listener. Yeah.
Right. And the floor, that's down to $18.99 in Santa Clara. Staten Island bumps out the Bronx from last week. So
is that the asterisk because it's new to the top 5?
It's new to the top 5. So floor price there is 14,000 UPX with the US dollar floor price of $11.40. Ran out of time this evening. Here is your cheapest cities. I didn't have the time to tell you up or down from last week percentage wise. I can tell you with looking here, but last week Chicago was the floor city. This week it's Los Angeles. UPX floor price you can still mint at 5,280 UPX. Also, Los Angeles is 52% minted right now, so we're just over a little halfway sold out, which is good.
I think it's at a good pace. I think so. It's interesting. I think the veterans who have been a while, who were in San Francisco when, it took what, a year to mint out San Francisco, almost a year and a half. Thank you, Kaiser. Hey, congrats on the bump up too. But yes, San Francisco is really cheap. So the people who've been around for a while, like having a tier 1 city with mintable properties is a good feeling. Now, the people who came in like after Manhattan and like have seen cities just selling out super quick and just seeing a lot of movement are probably like, I think that's why we're seeing some of these prices retract, because I think people are like, oh my God, LA didn't sell out instantly. Like I've seen some panic and I don't get it. I mean, I guess if you're newer, you're like, holy cow, how did this not sell out? Like these are very expensive properties and there's a lot of them. It was designed to not sell out because Upland really can't just keep pushing new cities out every week, every month. Right now, I think that's like the wrong strategy. They need to get a good amount of stock and variation of like high value properties like in LA and maybe some, Dizzy in private chat. I think that's what Too Stupid was alluding to, that hopefully we will cover. But then like having a lower tier city as well for some more affordable housing. So, I mean, I like it. I'm happy with where we're at as far as amount of property availability. It's not surprising that the market is like, oh, I need to liquidate, but whatever.
Yeah. And that's not bad. $6 floor in Los Angeles. Chicago, second place. They were the lowest city last week, 8,190 UPX, $6.50. Cleveland was in third last week, stays in third, and they actually went up in price by 500 UPX.
Get it, Cleveland.
500. There you go. $7.19 if you want to buy the floor. Kansas City was in fourth last week, still in fourth, just slightly up at 75.81 for the unminted properties and 9,500 UPX for the minted properties, which is up 250 UPX. $6.99, which is a discount from last week. Bakersfield is new on the list at 10,000 UPX with the floor of $7.90.
Yeah, no, I think Cleveland got a little bit of bump, at least for me. Like I've been in Cleveland now. My Explorer's been in Cleveland for a little bit. I know that doesn't necessarily directly, because you can buy secondary market wherever, which I wonder if they'll ever change that. They shouldn't, but no, I think about no, that's a terrible idea. But
I like because you can pick up a phone and call a realtor and buy something across the country right now. So they got to keep it that way.
Yeah, no. I think that's fair. Plus that's exactly like I need to buy something, so go mint it or whatever. But yeah, I think at least for me, like I've been in Cleveland for the first time probably ever. And so floating around, if I saw a property, I might pick it up if it was like on a good deal, just because I've been getting those legits, man. I'm back on that legits crack.
Hey, that's something else they could do is collections with the legits. If you have certain style collections, you can you can get some cool stuff. That's what they need to start looking into.
Yeah, I would like to think that they are, but hey, a little bit of nudge never hurt. Check out that cool cat sweater, those infinite objects, lots of cool promo, adding a lot of intrinsic value to those things. But
yeah. So now that's definitely cool. Definitely deals out there. All the data that we do have is provided by upxland.me and upx-spark.exchange. So I bounce numbers off back and forth to make sure everything's computing and both their sites are looking good. So right now I'm using both their sites to provide us the data. Now, last week, you mentioned Valentine's Day. We had Love is in the Air 2022. Did you get any of the block explorers?
I didn't. I missed that registration hard, and I'm really sad because I kind of like these. The little Cupid's a little creepy, if I'm being honest. Like why is he on all fours just looking over?
Right.
Like, hey, Daddy, it's Valentine's Day. Like, whoa, buddy, you need to take it down a notch.
Yeah, he's supposed to be making the love, not receiving it.
Oh yeah, no, that Cupid is receiving the love.
And they were all $5 too. I missed the registration myself.
I really appreciate that. I like that. I like that they did that, and it's more fun. So yeah.
And then, did you get involved with the treasure hunts?
No, I've been saying that I'm going to get back into treasure hunting, especially I have a great SF treasure hunt map. I don't have the availability. So no, I did not. Did you?
No, because I'm still hanging out in Los Angeles, picking up Los Angeles properties.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's true too. I was in Cleveland and I do not have a Cleveland map at all. Although for $9 a property, I might be able to get it.
Right. And so that's the thing. Now, I like that they did it with the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Do you just pick a city, pick a tier which you can financially afford to get a bunch of properties for treasure hunting purposes? Because you have things like this for Valentine's Day. You have the Spark when we do Spark weeks that we're currently in. You have the boosted Sparks. Do you focus, one city as your treasure hunting city as you make your investments through other cities?
Yeah. I think that's an absolute valid strategy, and depending on your budget, what I kind of like is it's not quite there yet, but I like the idea of being able to start easily in a tier 3 city, get a treasure hunt map, and if you grind out tier 3, collect enough UPX and Spark to be able to go to a tier 2, grind out that level. Like, as a gamer, I like the idea conceptually of having tiers that you can kind of progress through. I don't know that it's there yet, in the sense of for the most part, it's almost certainly better to just try to get to tier 1, even if it's a little bit jankier of a map. For most of these, it feels like, but I honestly don't know. Franklin's saying that Chicago is overpopulated with people with hunting maps. Which is true because Chicago, being a tier 1 city, was probably one of the best value to execute. Because we're talking SF, Manhattan, LA, Chicago. Am I missing any tier 1s? Or those are 4 tier 1s?
Those are the 4 tier 1s.
Yeah. So San Francisco, honestly, still a great deal right now. Very difficult because there's a lot of areas that are really hard blocked. You're not going to get properties in certain areas. So San Francisco would be harder to get a map, but possible. Manhattan would be insane to try and get a treasure map at this point.
That would be expensive.
It'd be so expensive. To me, it's oddly shaped. Some people probably like that better. I like the fact that if you start in the middle of San Francisco, it feels to me like there's less jumps. It's easier. I'm sure people could argue that hey, you essentially either go north or south in Manhattan if you start in the middle. But then Chicago, again, it was pretty affordable for a while. LA, you could probably still make a map, but it's going to be expensive. And I don't know how that works with that little dangly bit. You know what I'm talking about in LA? Like you're like,
Yeah.
oh, like sometimes it happens in SF when it goes up to like a weird property. Kaiser says it's hard to get into treasure hunting again. Competitive spark hunting is really competitive and sometimes isn't worth it when you define the value of personal time. That's a great point. Spark is worth a lot, but it's going to take you some time to get it, which is good, by the way. We don't want it to be too easy to get spark, but yeah.
So those were two great events that it sounds like both of us missed.
Well, it's hard, especially around the holidays. So this happens in a lot of games, and it's interesting because it's a hard thing to balance where the events around holidays are very popular, right? You kind of expect it. It's thematic. The rest of the world is kind of celebrating, so you want the in-game to reflect that. However, like on Valentine's Day probably people are doing other stuff. And this is the difficult thing about trying to get holiday events and especially putting them directly on a holiday. Because it's just like, dude, if my woman catches me on Valentine's Day trying to collect, especially this Cupid, if she sees me on my phone, like, hun, no, you don't understand. I got to get this sexy baby for $5. Like you don't understand. I need to get in queue and I need to be here to click this. It should be like, we're done. Get the hell out of here. What are you talking about? So most games have the event like over a week's time and allow different things. So I do think that that's one thing Upland probably needs to take more consideration of, especially something like this, because like the registration for the things were like the day of,
The
and
Super
like
Bowl.
also, yeah, oh yeah, and then you have the Super Bowl. That's another big consideration, right? Like, it just seemed like there was an opportunity to maybe do it a little bit ahead of time and then showcase. I would like to see. Oh, sorry, yes, Dizzy, correct. The big game. We got to be careful. We don't want to get taken off. The big game. What I would love to see, which I think would be very compelling, is let's say you do the Block Explorer sale, a couple days before the treasure hunt. I think you should get like a bonus, like 20-50% if you treasure hunt as your Block Explorer. So you change your Block Explorer to one of these three, you get bonus treasure while hunting for that event. And I think that they should do that as a cumulative thing. So next year, Valentine's Day, they bring in new explorers, they have a new event, but like all of the Block Explorers from that event get a bonus. If you equip that as your Block Explorer, they should get a bonus at any mini game or event that is happening in relationship to that. I think that would be cool. Some games have that where, like, again, you wear your Christmas hat and you do the Christmas activity, you get a little bit extra.
And we're seeing that in Top Shot right now with some of the challenges itself, that if you completed this set, a series 1 or series 2, a specific set, you get a bonus. You get a bonus pack drop and stuff like that. So it pays for continuing to invest in the game, continuing to hold in the game. Yeah. So I like the idea.
Yeah. And again, I think adding utility to these objects is going to ultimately increase not only the value, but just like the excitement. Boulder says that he tried and did not get anything. Oh, Kaiser agrees. I like Kaiser.
For now.
For now. As long as he agrees with me. Yeah. Kaiser's my buddy. Try and disagree. See if we display that. Add utility. Yeah. I think utility with the Block Explorers. Honestly, that's why I'm so bullish on Block Explorers. They've already announced that the Block Explorers are essentially going to be the drivers for your cars. So they're all going to have stats that you essentially have to level up. I think that is going to drastically increase the value of Block Explorers and kind of what that market looks like. I think it's going to change the landscape. So I'm hodling as many Block Explorers as I can at the moment.
Yeah. All right. Anything else about Love in the Air?
No.
All right. So the real fun.
Oh, big game.
The big game ball.
Big game ball.
So that was another swing and a miss right there. Overall, the legits just did not really move off the shelf. Cooper Cups sold later on, but I mean, this is big game 2021. It doesn't say Super Bowl because they can't put Super Bowl out because it's not part, they don't have the agreement with the NFL.
Yeah.
So they had the game ball and they had to call it the big game ball, and 22 million UPX for it.
I mean, clearly they listened to the fact that I feel like they were in a hard spot because you can't have the playoff game be a $20 million ball, right? And then have the big game ball be 10 million. Like,
right.
People are like, you dumb. However, like that puts them in a really tough spot. I think that they did the best that they could. Honestly, it's a 10% markup from where it was. I'm sure that they had plans to make this in the 30 or 40 or some ridiculous number. Honestly, like I really don't believe that this was the original number. Mind X. See, I got it right. How do you fit a huge Explorer in a tiny car? Dude, come on now. Clown cars. Let's get it done.
You ever seen that shrinking television thing that they had in Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory? That's all. They just beam you to your car.
Yeah, I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, we have the technology. But yeah, so clearly
Yes.
I think the team listened. I feel like they corrected as much as they could without it being ridiculous, because I don't think that they could have priced it A, the same, or B, lower than the previous game ball. Honestly, it just would have been, I feel like, more awkward. And so they were probably like, let's just make it 10%. Like, I don't know. That was painful. But honestly, for me, the sad part just came with the jerseys and caps. Like, it just feels like no one's going to have these really cool things. And it's a damn shame because, like, everyone knows I'm not a sports guy. But being a Cincinnati homeboy, like, I was there. Like, I got super into the game. Like, it was really exciting. And I was watching the caps and jerseys. I didn't have that kind of money. I mean, it's a lot of money. They're used to selling landmarks for 20 million consistently. But the thing about a landmark is
that's the difference.
You get interest.
You get that built in the game, and you get interest.
It's like there's so much more value to a major known property that's a true, like, these are all one of one, but like you're like one of like two for that player, and you're really like one of X for a team, and you're one of X for the game, and you're one of X for like it. A landmark is a dedicated, massive piece of marketing and it earns interest, by the way. Like, that's a big piece. You're getting 14% interest on it, guaranteed. I shouldn't say guaranteed. 14% interest right now. Obviously, it could go down, but like that's a big draw. They haven't introduced enough functionality to justify these prices. The market saw it. I think. Are these the ones that sold, or are you just showing them in general?
No, I was just showing. I did get some shots of the Cincinnati store. McPherson sold. Jamar Chase sold. I don't think Burrow sold. There weren't a lot of sales at all.
No, there was. I took a quick video towards the end of the game of the store, just to like, what's his? Who's? Oh man, I feel bad. Not Pat Gay. Who's the last name with
Matt
the guy
Gay?
Gay? Matt Gay. He was the first one to sell, I think. Which I don't know if somebody bought it. I don't know, as a joke. I don't know if he's a good player.
He's a kicker.
Okay. So they definitely bought that as a joke. Okay, good to know. Now the Cincinnati kicker though sold because he's like legit. Dude, did you see him out there chilling at halftime, just watching it, like,
watching the show,
like the half, like dang.
I was just sad that they couldn't give us a hologram Tupac, but they gave us 50 from the ceiling. Sad trade-off.
I will not have you shame. I will not have any of that. 50 is badass. He went out there and he did it. Get 75 cents. Dizzy, get out of here. I can't. You guys, He's a legend, and he went out there and did it. Ain't none of you been in no halftime Super Bowl, so get out of here. He started calling him 75 cents. You guys are wrong. That is wrong.
Yeah. All right. But hopefully they adjust. They've seen what the community response was to it. And, maybe future, if they get stuff going with the NFL. I mean, they have the ambassadors, which is pretty sweet. I did like Denzel Ward. He held up a fake tree. He's like, I'm in the metaverse. I am trying to get him on the podcast since he is a Cleveland Brown and he played at the Ohio State University. So I'm trying to work that magic there. So
yay, now that would be big deal. That would be big D's. Let's make that happen.
Right now they got some off season, some downtime, so we'll see what we can make happen there. But probably next year we'll see better and we'll have an understanding of the more functionality of these legits going on in the future. So
yeah, we definitely need functionality. We definitely need something to justify these prices. I mean, I think it's going to be hard for us at any point to look back and go, dang, we should have bought that game ball for $22 million. Like, like that's what I struggle with. Cause like we can look back at we can look back at every single San Francisco property that got minted and go, damn, that was a steal. Like, holy cow, I would give anything. There is not a single property in San Francisco that I would not pay mint for. Not a one. I would pay mint for every single one. And they were all great deals.
Yeah.
This does not feel that great.
And like established 2019, I was like, I'm not paying $100 for one of those. Those people are crazy. Now it's like $500, $600, $700. It fluctuates depending on that, but yeah,
depending on how much money Turbo wants to print.
Right,
dude,
right.
Legend. My boy Turbo out there with that, established 2019. Get it?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we'll see how it works come next year. So.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, it's just kind of a shame because it's it would be so cool to have those things. It's just a shame that it was so unobtainable for so much of the community.
And I do joke that I'm blowing my kids' college fund and on all this stuff, but that would be legitimate blowing kids' college fund right there.
Yeah, it's so much with really nothing. Like, it's just too big of a leap of faith right now. Like, I believe in Upland. I know it's going to be successful. Legits, I still think are going to be successful. I love the price point on their essentials and things like that. I'm kind of sad that more people couldn't get these, and I'm sad that they're going to be lost forever, essentially, because they're not. You're never going to be able to mint these again. Like, they will never be part of the Upland Metaverse. Like, that's kind of a shame. Like, I wish they would have been. Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Okay, literally, you got the same screenshot.
Welcome to Detroit.
Hey, now, full disclosure, this is absolute speculation. Nothing confirmed. Absolutely not. Right? There's been no confirmations.
No confirmations. Straight speculation. It was pulled up that somebody said that they found an ID 33 name for Detroit, base price null. So it looks like a city's coming to Upland. Doesn't say when. They always pop in a little late, but Kaiser says they should auction the remaining legits. Possible.
Yeah, maybe. They shouldn't, because they've already said, like, once the game's passed, like, that's it. So maybe in the future,
they would go back on their word.
Like, honestly, like, that's how it should have been. Like, I would like to have seen, especially for the big game, like, they should do it like eBay, where you have a bidding system or a buy it now. Like, dude, if you want to buy this for 22, boom, buy it. But then, like, have a secret bidding where people can say, like, okay, hey, if it doesn't sell, this is how much I'm willing to pay for it. Like, so that way it doesn't go to waste. Right. At least somebody's going to get it. And then maybe you luck out and nobody picks that particular kicker, and you just put in, 1,000 UPX just because why not, and nobody else does it. Like, That would be super cool. Like, I think at least then you're selling the legits. I don't know. I don't know what that does for the economy. It gets kind of complicated, I guess, but
yeah. But back to Welcome to Detroit.
Oh,
so
Detroit.
This was fun. I mean, it makes sense. They keep talking about, I don't know if Detroit's the next city, but cars are coming. Detroit is the motor city. Absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
LA's 52% sold out. You do want, I would imagine Detroit would be more of a tier 2 city, something like Cleveland, even though the footprint's about a third of the size bigger than Cleveland, but you'd have higher FSAs, lower mint prices. That's what I'd be expecting here. And that rolls right along with the theme of the cars coming to Upland.
Yeah, because obviously Detroit, for those who may not know, maybe not U.S. bound, motor city capital. That's a big hub for the U.S. automotive industry for a long time. Yeah, super cool. Now, Dr. Nobody says the last song on Music to Mint to Spotify playlist from the Flash Challenge a while back was Fresh Denver Mint by Jimmy Eat World. And he says the rest of the songs related directly to existing cities. So he thought that might be a clue, but it could be red herring. So also speculation on a Denver city. I would like to see that.
Yeah. And Detroit has a football stadium and Denver has a football stadium. So these are all possibilities.
There you go.
Don't want to spend too much time on the rumors, but yeah, that was out there talked about. Any other insights or thoughts before we move on from the rumor of Welcome to Detroit?
No, I think that's fair.
All right.
I'm not really a fan of Detroit. So. Sorry, Detroit. It's just the roads in Michigan. I never understood that. How you're going to have Detroit, the motor city capital of the world, and yet have literally the worst roads in the country. Like, you drive from that Ohio border to the Michigan border, you immediately hit potholes. It's like, boom, welcome to Michigan. You're like, damn, what is going on in Michigan?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So, on the third attempt, Upland was finally able to auction off the Ryman Auditorium, and that's spelled wrong. Great spell check. Yeah, well, I catch it. I don't have a spell checker when I make this stuff in a rush. But either way, this is also known as the Grand Old Opry.
They should have called it that.
Yeah. This was the third attempt in the auction house, the Upland auction house, and they finally got that rolling, and they were able to pull that off. It got pretty heated between Abdullah and Big Nick. They were going back and forth, and they had a 12.8 million UPX cap, so that was going to be the max that they would let the property mint for. Everything above that was going to a community pool at that point in time.
Which, again, so we had talked about this a little bit in a previous episode, because back in the day, like when they originally were doing this, like whatever they minted it at was just it. You get all that. And like, honestly, like it was crippling. Like somebody just drops 30-40 million on a random property that's part of a 2X collection. Like their rates, you just get so much UPX return. It's crazy. I really like how they did this. I also appreciate, Abdullah and Big Nick, like going, hey, cool. We're going to keep going because this is a valuable property. 4 million over asking, like over cap. Not even asking, because what did it start?
It started somewhere around 7 million UPX.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's great. Congratulations, Abdullah. I hope he listens. Do you think he listens? No.
No, because I've been trying different channels to reach out to get him on the podcast too. So,
right.
Still no dice. So
right.
that happened on Wednesday at the auction house. And then today we had the Washington Arch auction in Manhattan, and it started out at 28.8 million UPX and 28.6. Either way, 28 million UPX overall, and Abdullah was the quickest clicker on that one.
Dang.
Picked up.
It's interesting. Look at all those little, look at all the houses that are developed in your screenshot. It's really interesting. Like there's already been a significant amount of development knowing that was going to be a future landmark. Dr. Nobody says, he's not only rich, he's quick. I like that. Oh, Abdullah was in Discord in the Upland Cafe the other day. What? That's
nice.
super cool. Good on you.
Yeah.
No, this is really interesting because it's not a building. It's truly just a landmark. It's like a park and a landmark. So when they do this, like, I hope that they like build out the whole park and everything. It'd be really interesting to see.
Yeah. Well, it'll be a replicate park, and I don't know what they're going to do there, but we will see.
Yeah, I hope it's more than just the arch. For 28 million UPX, I hope he gets more than just the arch. I hope he gets a couple lampposts and a park bench or something.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, February standard. Hey, what do you think about their graphics? Are they getting better? Like, do you feel like their branding and stuff is getting a little bit more fun?
Yeah, it's getting a little more fun, get a little more better. You can see more detail in it, so they're getting there.
I'm liking the miles. Like, they're really getting stylistic with their miles, and I appreciate that. Like, you feel like he's a cool dude. He's showing maybe a bit too much teeth for my liking, and honestly, I'm not sure why he's winking at me, but other than that, like, nice suit, looking sharp.
Yeah. So the standards challenge, that's typical. They run these from time to time. Just wanted to point out they're going on. Great opportunity to take advantage of a bunch of different challenges to win a couple of different things there. And then we do have, that's the old one. Never mind.
Oh my God.
There was the Spark going on. I missed that, but they do have the Spark challenge going on through today through Sunday. So definitely want to check that out, take advantage of it. But as said,
it's
competitive. I was just going to say the treasure hunting for that Spark competitive.
Very competitive. Also, I'm interested because do you know, so with Spark Week, like let's say you hit, executive, if you don't click the claim button and don't do the ceremony, can you wait until Spark Week and then do it? Or is like, as soon as you hit that threshold, do you lose out? Does anybody know?
I think you got to click it. You just can't hold on to it. And I think I grabbed this photo from them. But this is from the January Spark Week. But they just
for the record.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Boulder confirms just wrong. You can wait. Okay, good. So you can wait. Okay. So for those who know, like if you are listening and you hit one of the tiers, unless there's some other reason that you really want to get to that tier, I would highly recommend waiting for a Spark Week because then you do get a bonus Spark for your your promotion.
Yes.
And then there's also a question, Dr. Nobody wants to know, is there significance to the llama or is it just as random as it seems? I believe there are some origin stories around them wanting to pick a fun animal. And we might have to get one of the founders on to describe it. But the founders picked it. It was semi-random. I think they were looking for a fun mascot, and it ended with Miles the llama.
I know Dizzy and Dirk bonded over llamas, so maybe Dizzy can tell us one day too.
Well, I don't want to know what Dizzy and Dirk did with a llama. That's between those three. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to know what happened at the first live Upland event. That's how Dizzy got his status. We'll just leave that at that. How he has stayed out of Alcatraz. Okay. Too soon?
Ooh.
Too soon? Sorry. Wow. Oh my God. Dizzy, there's a lot of private chat for no one. There's some private chats going on that are just getting out of control for those listening, which there are 10 backstage passes that are available each week. We give them out to dedicated listeners and those who want to join in. I'll take a second to shout that out to our audience today. In the room, we got Dizzy, of course, our boy Mindex, Dr. Nobody, Franklin, 52GS, named Franklin Bombs, named after him, our boy Boulder Magic, And special shout out to Mix Plick, who was on his treadmill. He is hustling the entire time he's listening, and I love it. He is going to be the fittest Uplander in no time, and I'm here for it. I love it.
Yes. So if you want backstage, just hit up Thank Me Later or myself, and we'll arrange that each and every week. On to our next segment is, would you accept that trade offer?
Dang.
So what we have here.
Yeah, go ahead. Tee it up.
All right. So we have an offer of 10674 Shalon Road in Los Angeles, California. It is 502 up square size, and it was originally minted for 379,512 UPX. The collections it belongs to is Bel Air, Los Angeles, and Newbie. And if it's part of the Bel Air collection, it will return you about 9,000 UPX a month. And that was offered up for a Wilshire Boulevard property. And
so,
this Wilshire Boulevard.
So I just want to set up. So the Bel Air property was offered for the Wilshire property.
That's correct.
Okay.
So the Wilshire property is
Wilshire.
Wilshire.
Nobody.
Sorry,
Wilshire.
Yeah, I don't
Sound
live in
like
Los
redneck.
Wilshire.
Wilshire.
Gotcha. All right. So that's 442 up squares. Original mint price 245,310 UPX. It can go in the Wilshire, Brentwood, Los Angeles, and Newbie collection, and it returns 6.9 thousand UPX a month. So, what would you do? Thank me later if you were the one holding the Wilshire Boulevard property and this trade came through.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
I
feel like it's. I don't want to say it's a no-brainer. I mean, okay, so here there are some additional factors. If I have a Wilshire collection and I need all of my properties to get my Wilshire collection, and I do not have the Bel Air collection at all, I have no properties. So if by taking this trade, I will lose my Wilshire and not get Bel Air, then yeah, I that would be a consideration. But I feel like, yeah, I mean, just
if you don't have enough to make the Wilshire collection.
If I don't have enough to get the Bel Air collection, you mean?
No, the Wilshire collection.
Well, if I don't have the Wilshire collection, I'm definitely trading it, because then what do I care? Like, my only consideration would be is if I have the Wilshire collection and trading this away will make me lose the Wilshire collection, and I still can't complete the Bel Air collection, right? Because then I'm just losing out. Like, my other, whatever, 2 or 3 properties that would be in the Wilshire collection lose their bonus, right?
Right.
So, like, if that undoes my... Kaiser, you literally said in 1 minute, you go, I would do it for sure. And then the next second you say, Wilshire is more valuable. Like, what? You own the Wilshire. The deal is you own the Wilshire. Somebody says, here's this Bel Air. Would you take it? I think I would. I mean, why wouldn't I? It's got a higher base mint, significantly higher base mint, mind you. It's in an ultra rare collection. So
no, Bel Air's not an ultra rare.
Bel Air's not an ultra rare?
No, it's just a limited.
It's yellow.
I mean, no, that's.
Oh, is it orange?
That's the orange. I don't know why it kind of came up that way on this.
Oh, I was curious.
Damn,
I didn't know Bel Air was an ultra rare. Oh, no. Interesting.
So you have less, but your UPX return is more.
But yeah, but if you're in the Bel Air collection, it's 9,000 a month versus Wilshire Boulevard. But I don't know why I was thinking Bel Air was an ultra rare, because yellow made me think it was ultra rare. So Kaiser says he would trade the Bel Air for the Belshire, not the other way around, or the Bel Air for the Wilshire. Oh, well, now that I think, that's that makes it a lot more difficult because I was like, oh, it's a Bel Air ultra rare. I thought it was yellow. It looks
Yeah,
yellow.
no,
That's my
you're
color.
going the other way around.
But it's still worth more. But, dang.
Now, if
That's a tough. If I have the Bel Air collection, like let's say I needed one more for my Bel Air collection, then I would do it, right? If that's going to complete my Bel Air collection, and I don't have, so there's two caveats. If it completes a Bel Air collection for me and it doesn't deactivate an active Wilshire collection, then I would almost certainly do it. Like if I just had a miscellaneous Wilshire Boulevard and I didn't have a collection, but I had like maybe, how many is Bel Air? 3? If I had
3.
Yeah. So if I had 2 Bel Air and I needed a third, I would probably do that deal. However, dang. Yeah, this is a great one, man. You picked a good, there's a lot of elements to this. And this is what, this is the art of the deal. This is a true, you have to stop and kind of think about it. Would break a rare collection to get into a single ultra rare. Yes, I agree. So Boulder Magic, I completely agree. That's where I was thinking. However, Bel Air is not ultra rare. It's just a rare collection, or it's a what's
exclusive.
Exclusive. It's an exclusive. It's not an ultra rare. Yeah. So,
I mean, from a resale value, your Wilshire will be more valuable, but from if you're just planning on holding either of these in a collection long term, your Bel Air.
Well, yeah, and honestly, like the other consideration that I might have is like, where in Bel Air is this? The Bel Air property is slightly bigger, but it's got an odd shape. But depending on how property development goes, you might be able to do some really cool stuff with that once you can start doing multiple things. The Wilshire property is a nice rectangular shape, 442 up square, so it's still a very sizable property. You'd be able to build any of the current buildings on it. Let me see here. From Road, Wilshire Boulevard obviously being already a street collection, Bel Air being a neighborhood collection. I don't know if that matters. The addresses, honestly, the Bel Air address is kind of weird. 10674, like not marketable. 12121 Wilshire Boulevard is kind of catchy. 12121, like there's got a little bit of something there. I don't know. What did was this sent in by Poison?
It was, and he rejected the offer.
He rejected the offer. I mean, it's fair. Like, and I thank you, Poison, for sending this in, because this is the exact kind of deal. I mean, it's a very reasonable deal. I don't think that it was like a bait or I think it was a fair offer. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of things to consider here. I could understand rejecting it. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, and he said that he believes that in the long run that this property is more valuable on the secondary market.
That's probably true. So you figure maybe you're losing 2,000 UPX a month, but the value of it should honestly appreciate. That's fair, actually, because if you do the math real quick, now that I do that math, 2,000 a month, 24,000 in a year, that's only $24 worth of value that you would gain from that collection. And honestly, a rare collection in LA is going to gain more than $24 in value over a year. So, yep, I think that tracks. Oh, yeah. Boy. Okay, let's see here. Original mint. So we got, so somebody offered 9405 Sierra Mars Place for 877 South Bundy Drive, number 2. Is that how I'm reading this deal then?
That's correct.
We have an original mint price for the incoming at $139,860 for a 43,000 original mint Bundy Drive. They both have purple collections. Wait, this feels now you got me like questioning myself, because this feels like a slam dunk. This feels like an insta. Oh wait, City Pro. Damn. See, look at me. I was like, oh, purple collection. It's in a purple collection.
But City Pro is a limited collection, so that's fine. You can use it there.
That's fair. That's fair if you're using this, but like really, you're probably not. Like if you're only in LA, maybe, but like realistically, this is a Los Angeles collection. It's a non-collection. It's really a non-collection property. Like you can't really, I don't consider any of those. Brentwood is like a legit limited collection. Like that's a neighborhood. It's a collector's neighborhood. But that being said, yeah, why would I not accept this?
For the 877 South Bundy, that is the place where Nicole Simpson was murdered.
Oh, see, I knew you were setting me up. I knew it. You rotten scoundrel. No. Okay.
Now, the address is changed. So they did change the address because a lot of people were coming through and just the stigma of the address, but that is the location and that is the place where the Nicole Brown Simpson murder happened.
I would say very nice, but that does not feel like the correct response to that statement. Now, this is a great, man, you crushed it this week, man, because this is a great example where from an outsider looking in, you go, yeah, duh, I'm taking this deal. It's like 3x the mint. Sure, it's a Brentwood, but whatever. But this is where knowing more about your properties and like doing the research and having it comes in hugely handy. I can guarantee that Paul M71 knew exactly what he was buying when he bought it. That's why it's up for sale at $999.99. So, obviously then this is an auto reject. It's almost a bait. RTS, I mean, it was a fair offer on the surface, but I'm going to guess that RTS also knew what property that was. So.
Oh, absolutely. And he was hoping that the individual didn't know and it was just a random mint.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, yeah, I get it's not as malicious. He's not offering a Fresno burner. I mean, it is a property that's worth 4 times the amount, which, to be fair, there is no markers. It's not the actual address. The address is not in and of itself remarkable in any way, shape, or form. I guess there would be a certain, obviously there's a very certain appeal to it, right? But it's not recognized by the Upland game. So it's a very personal appeal. So honestly, I don't think that it's obviously a no-go, but I could understand it. But yeah, that's fair. No deal then.
Yeah, no deal. And Paul M71 did reject the offer.
Fair enough. Thanks for sending that in, Paul.
And then this was the one that I rushed, as you can tell.
Jeez, old Pete. Man, we went from such polish to some nonsense. Jeez, old Pete.
I ran out of time, I spent more time, but I got the routine down, so we'll be quicker putting these together.
Okay. So we got 1618 65th Avenue in Oakland, California, with what appears to be a small townhouse on it, offered to 7208 North Harlem Avenue in Chicago. Let's see here. No major properties. Now, I will note that the Harlem property is also a Jiffy Lube per the little map icon. Now, note asterisks here. The map icons are not at all in any way, shape, or form tied to that NFT. It is simply a map overlay and should not be taken as anything more than that because they can be removed, changed, or altered at any time without notice, and you can't do much about that. So I'll put that asterisk 708. No, I don't think I would. I mean, townhouse is probably worth. Did I take a screenshot? Somebody put together a little list of like the value of each of the properties based on current spark values. There's some of those going out. So I don't know that I would take. I mean, it's Oakland though, Chicago, maybe. No.
I figured this one would be tough for you since you've been on kind of a tear of buying properties with houses.
I like the idea of having pre-built houses. Like it's very compelling. You have immediate value. I think in the long term, having established properties that you could potentially rent out, run businesses out of, keep stock of your items in. I think once they start releasing that functionality, the value of houses goes up. the price of Spark goes up. So I tend to hodl those things. We're looking at a very minimal loss in UPX. I mean, like 400, less than 400 UPX a month difference. Yeah, you know what? I'd take it. I think I'd take it. I like a house. I like a house in Oakland over an unbuilt Jiffy Lube in Chicago.
Okay. And Max Life rejected the offer.
Rejected.
But he said it was tough because the guy threw the house in.
Right. It's the house. I mean, without the house, this is a bait offer. Like 100% it's a bait offer. Because you can't see it, but I feel almost certainly it's probably an FSA. It's next to an FSA property. It was minted at 4,200 UPX.
That's hit or miss there in Chicago. Not really sure there. But and that's the thing is you can't just open up your message and so offered you X for Y. You should go and look at the property.
Yeah. For sure. Definitely evaluate all of your deals accordingly. So, hey, Franklin posted current small town house 950 Spark is 39,000 UPX or 40,000 UPX. So yeah, I would say probably not based on those market rates of being about 50,000 UPX right now. Max, I think you made a good deal. Like keep your big Jiffy Lube. It's a great size. It's a great shape. It doesn't look like there's anything else around it. I don't know if that's just the crop, but like it feels like it's kind of isolated. Like there's not a lot of other properties around it, which I don't know why, but I really like that from like especially treasure hunting and things like that. So yeah.
So you reversed it. You took the deal, then now you rejected the deal.
Yeah, well, now that I look at it's because now that I've looked at the numbers, Franklin, thank you for providing that. Of like, well, the small town house is only about 50,000 UPX. Yeah, that's probably not worth it then. Again, it's still a very close call. All three of these, I think, depending on where you were, you could go either way and you could justify it pretty easily, which I definitely like. But yeah, I think Max Life did all right. Yeah, no deal. We'll say no deal. I changed.
And if you do want us to evaluate your proposed trades that you accepted or rejected, please go ahead, send me the DMs and we'll get it on the podcast. And if you can send me screenshots of the information that we put up here, it makes my job a lot easier than having to go out and get them myself. But
so I got to be careful about touting too many different projects. So I'm still working on the wiki. There's been a lot of node owners coming up, but did I tell you about I want to make this into a web game?
No.
So what I want to do is I have a plan. So if you're a web developer and you think you can help, I want to create an online form for people to be able to submit the deal information. So, we'll make a form that's like, here's the property that was offered to the property. Does it have whatever it is, all the details, and then you kind of submit it. And then we do like the daily deal. So there'll just be a website. It'll be kind of like Wordle. You'll just have, just like we have here on the podcast, the two things, and then you click deal or no deal or whatever, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. And then you get, it'll compile it right among the community to just see what the community says. That way we could add it here. And then we could have like some expert advice on like, why would you accept or why would you reject? And that way you just kind of have like the daily deal and you just go see, ooh, what's the daily deal? And then vote for would you take it or not? And then that'll also give us some insight to see what the community thinks. Cause I'm very curious, like what would you do? So yeah.
Yeah. That just gives us more incentive to finally build our website for the podcast.
That's true too. Yeah. So Google Form, you know what? I love Google Forms. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a Google form. I'll have that up by next week. We'll at least have an intake. I don't know about how we can do the voting. We'll figure that out. If anybody knows a way to kind of do that, we'll figure it out. But I think that would be a great, like, fun community thing. Just, maybe once a day or a couple a week, we'll throw them up there. Yeah.
Sounds good. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you do hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you know when we go live.
Thing? Where's the subscribe button? I see all the YouTubers do the things. They're like, click here, boop, boop, boop.
Go down.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop,
Go
boop,
down.
boop.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Go down.
They're like, oh, that's where the unsubscribe button is. Thanks for
There you
pointing
go. Yes. All right. And also make sure you are following us on Twitter. We've been more active there lately. So definitely check that out. Thank you guys for listening. You got anything else before we get out of here for the week? Thank me later.
No, for all those who do celebrate and did celebrate Valentine's Day, I hope you had a happy Valentine's Day. For all you sadists out there who have somehow convinced your poor partners that it's a corporate shill, shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. But love to you as well.
But I do other things throughout the year. So yeah.
No, I'm sure that you are a loving, caring partner. No judgment.
Yeah, I got 4 kids. Got to do something, right?
Oh, yeah. No, we're end the show. End the show before this is ridiculous. You're not taking us anywhere productive. Jeez, oh, jeez.
All right. Everybody have a good week. Next week, we're going to have the founders of the playerslounge.io on with
show.
the DGDs. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
Very excited to have these people on, and it will be fun. Until next week, everybody be safe.
It's the UPX Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, ThankMeLater, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming obsession as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your UPX, man. On your way in the door, hit you with $4,000. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping. Over to moving and shucking. I'm Scrooge McDuckin in UPX.